This waterbuck is carrying exactly what an oxpecker is searching for. Ticks are hidden behind its ears, beneath its neck, and deep inside its shaggy coat. But every time the bird lands, the antelope reacts. An ear flick, a skin twitch, a sudden turn. Why reject the one animal drawn to the parasites covering its body? Across the African grassland, a waterbuck moves slowly through the morning vegetation. Its heavy body is protected by a dense gray-brown coat. Longer hair surrounds the neck and shoulders, creating sheltered spaces close to the skin. For ticks, these protected areas can offer cover from sunlight, movement, and the animal's attempts to groom itself. For an oxpecker flying overhead, the same waterbuck can appear to be a moving source of food. Oxpeckers spend much of their lives on or near large mammals. Their feet are adapted for gripping hair and uneven surfaces. Their bills can separate fur, probe folds, and seize small invertebrates attached to the skin. But a large animal is not simply a platform. It breathes, walks, twitches, turns, and reacts to every sensation on its body. Some hosts tolerate the birds for long periods. Others interrupt them repeatedly. This waterbuck is already showing signs that it may not be an easy place to feed. Its ears move constantly as it listens to the grassland around it. Muscles beneath the coat contract whenever insects touch sensitive skin. Its head can reach far enough back to investigate much of its shoulder. The oxpecker must find food on an animal that may remove its access without warning. From a nearby perch, a red-billed oxpecker watches the waterbuck pass below. The bird can see movement around the antelope's ears and neck. Small, dark shapes are partly concealed beneath the long hair. The opportunity is valuable enough to justify a closer approach. The oxpecker leaves its perch and descends toward the waterbuck from behind. Approaching from the rear reduces the chance of flying directly toward the animal's eyes. The bird extends its feet and lands on the broad upper back. Its claws disappear into the shaggy coat. For a moment, the waterbuck continues walking. The oxpecker lowers its body and begins moving toward the shoulder. Each step places its feet between clumps of hair. The bird pauses to separate the coat with its bill. The surface may look calm from a distance, but the skin beneath it is constantly shifting. A small contraction passes through the waterbuck's back. The hair rises and settles. The oxpecker steps sideways but keeps its grip. The bird has survived the first reaction. It continues toward the lower neck, where the hair grows longer and the protected skin becomes more difficult to inspect. The oxpecker pushes its bill between the strands. A tick is visible for only a moment before the waterbuck flicks one ear backward. The motion travels through the muscles of the neck. The bird lowers its body as the coat moves beneath its feet. Before it can reach the tick, the waterbuck turns its head. The dark muzzle approaches the shoulder. The oxpecker opens its wings and leaves the animal before the head reaches its position. The first attempt has ended without food. The waterbuck does not need to understand what the bird was searching for. It only needs to react to a touch, a pull, or a movement against sensitive skin. The bird circles above the antelope. Leaving would save energy. Returning could still produce a meal. The oxpecker chooses to land again. This time, it approaches the opposite shoulder. The bird avoids the area closest to the waterbuck's head and begins searching farther down the body. The long coat slows every movement. A tick hidden beneath short hair may be found quickly. A tick beneath the waterbuck's shaggy neck requires the bird to separate layers of hair before it can even reach the skin. The oxpecker presses its body close to the host. The waterbuck stamps one front foot. The impact passes through its shoulder and into the bird's perch. The oxpecker spreads its wings for balance. It stays attached, but its feeding position is lost again. Each interruption carries a cost. Flying away uses energy. Landing requires precision. Searching through the coat takes time. The bird must complete all three before the host moves again. The oxpecker climbs toward the lower side of the neck. Here, one tick is partly exposed between the strands of hair. The bird pauses. Its feet tighten around the coat. Its bill closes around the tick's body. The waterbuck begins to twist. The skin shifts beneath the bird, but the oxpecker does not release its grip. It braces with both feet and pulls backward. The tick remains attached. The waterbuck takes another step. The oxpecker opens one wing for balance and pulls again. This time, the tick comes free. The bird lifts its head and swallows immediately. Several landings have produced a single small meal. Yet that success may attract attention. A second oxpecker approaches and lands near the waterbuck's upper back. The first bird remains near the neck. The second begins searching along the shoulder. Two birds can inspect more of the host, but they also create movement in more than one place. The waterbuck's left ear flicks backward. Its skin contracts beneath the second bird. Its tail sweeps across the rear of its body. The primary oxpecker steps toward another protected fold. The waterbuck turns sharply. The second bird is thrown from the shoulder and lifts into the air. The first holds on for another moment. Then the waterbuck shakes its neck. The remaining oxpecker loses its position and follows the other bird upward. Both birds circle above the waterbuck.
The waterbuck reacts
The food
almost
has not
immediately.
disappeared.
Its skin
Ticks
ripples
remain
beneath the
behind
bird.
ears,
Its head
beneath the
turns.
neck,
Its
and
neck
within
shakes.
the coat. But food alone does not make an animal a useful host. The oxpecker also needs enough time to land, search, grip, and pull. The primary bird makes one final approach. It lands low on the waterbuck's shoulder, farther from the moving ears and turning muzzle. The waterbuck reacts almost immediately. Its skin ripples beneath the bird. Its head turns. Its neck shakes. The oxpecker leaves before reaching another tick. This time the bird does not circle back. Another large animal is moving through the grassland nearby. The oxpecker crosses the open space and follows it instead. The waterbuck continues through the vegetation with most of its parasites still attached. The bird has gained only a small amount of food from repeated attempts. Neither animal has won a contest. Each has simply responded to its own immediate needs. The oxpecker searched for a feeding opportunity. The waterbuck reacted to sensations on its body. Their relationship changed from one second to the next. For an oxpecker, finding ticks is only the beginning. The bird must also find a host that allows it to remain long enough to feed.